Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Ultimate Titan channel. It's so great to have you all here again. Your support really does mean the world to us, and we can't thank you enough for being part of this community. Today we're kind of strapping on our armor, saddling up our dragons, and diving headfirst into a world of magic and adventure and some pretty intense sisterly bonds. We're going to be talking about the sequel to a fantasy story that left us all wanting more. So to set the scene, it's been about a year since Elodie, her sister Floria, and Lady Bayford, they thought they'd earn some peace and quiet.
Right, some peace and quiet after their last dragon-filled adventure.
Yeah, exactly.
But as it turns out, they were wrong.
Very wrong.
Yeah, very wrong. What's really interesting here is the introduction of this new antagonistic force, the Phoenix Guard.
Okay.
And their perspective on dragons is a complete 180 from our heroes.
Totally. Instead of aiming for some kind of peaceful coexistence, these guys, they want to just wipe dragons off the map completely.
Yeah, like total annihilation.
Makes you wonder what's fueling this dragon-destroying desire.
Well, if we zoom out a little bit and look at the bigger picture, I think it boils down to a pretty classic motivator.
Oh, power.
The Phoenix Guard believe that by controlling dragons, they hold the key to ultimate power, and they seem willing to go to any lengths to achieve that.
Which would explain why they decided to kidnap Floria.
Oh, absolutely.
It's almost as if they've stumbled upon some kind of secret knowledge, connecting those glowing worms from the caves to an ancient magic that can actually revive dragons. That's a recipe for disaster, right?
Oh, huge disaster.
Yeah.
And this is where things get really, really interesting.
Okay.
Remember Aurea from the first story?
Yes.
The one who betrayed Elodie?
Oh, yeah.
Well, her actions were just one piece of a much larger puzzle involving this dragon revival magic.
Whoa, so Aurea was just a pawn in this elaborate game. Talk about feeling betrayed. Poor Elodie is facing a double whammy now. Rescuing her sister A and D, saving the entire dragon species from extinction. That's a lot for one hero to handle.
It is. It's a huge burden. Elodie's journey this time around is twofold. She's battling to protect her sister and the future of dragons. And what's even more intriguing is the possibility that her family history is tangled up with these creatures in a way she never imagined.
It makes you wonder what secrets have been hiding in plain sight all along. But Elodie, she's not one to shy away from a challenge, especially when family is involved. And speaking of challenges, we can't forget about the new characters joining the fray. Kale, for example. He's part of the Phoenix Guard. But he seems to be having second thoughts about their whole dragon elimination agenda.
Yeah, he's definitely a wild card. Kale's internal struggle adds a layer of complexity to the antagonist group. His questioning of their methods suggests that there might be cracks in their unity, and that could create some unexpected twists in the story.
Maybe even an unlikely alliance or two. After all, we've seen how quickly the lines between enemy and ally can blur in this world.
Precisely. And that possibility of redemption always keeps us guessing. It's what makes these characters feel so real and relatable, even when they're dealing with magical creatures and ancient prophecies.
Speaking of relatable, we also have Asha, a young dragon with a whole lot of untapped power who becomes Floria's unlikely protector. Can't help but root for a dynamic duo like that.
Oh, absolutely. It's always exciting to see a young character with the potential for growth and discovery, especially when they're so closely tied to the heart of the conflict. In Asha's case, she's literally embodying the struggle between those who want to control dragons and those who want to protect them.
I can already imagine those heartwarming moments between Asha and Floria, and the incredible feats they might accomplish together. Plus, from what we've gathered, this sequel is promising to be a roller coaster of epic battles, shocking magical revelations, and some serious emotional gut punches.
It seems that way. What stands out to me is the depth of the themes being explored. Sisterhood is front and center. With Elodie and Floria's bond being tested like never before, it makes you think about the complexities of family relationships and the lengths we go to for those we love.
Absolutely. They're going to have to lean on each other more than ever to survive this ordeal. And then there's the theme of redemption, this idea that maybe, just maybe, former enemies might have to join forces against this new, even bigger threat.
That raises a really interesting question about how alliances might shift and how characters evolve when faced with a common enemy. Do old grudges get set aside for the greater good? Do people surprise us with their capacity for change? I, for one, am very curious to see how these dynamics play out.
Me too. The stakes are definitely higher than ever before. But if anyone has the courage and determination to face what's coming, it's Elodie. She's a true hero in the making.
I agree. The blend of action fantasy and genuine emotion is what makes this story so captivating. I'm particularly interested to see how Elodie's personal journey unfolds alongside this larger conflict between humans and dragons.
Now, before we go any further down this rabbit hole of dragons and ancient magic, let's take a quick break and then come back to unpack even more of what this story has to offer. We'll be right back after this.
It really does sound like Elodie is facing like a whole new level of complexity this time around, not just battling, those external threats, but like wrestling with those internal conflicts too.
Absolutely. And you know what I find particularly fascinating?
What's that?
The way this story manages to blend those high-stakes action and fantasy elements with these really powerful emotional themes. It's not just about fighting dragons or rescuing damsels in distress. It's about the bonds between sisters, the weight of choices, and the consequences that ripple out from those choices.
Yeah, exactly. That depth, it's what elevates the story beyond like a simple good versus evil narrative. It's exploring the gray areas of morality, the internal struggles we all face, and how our past experiences shape our present actions.
Right, and we can't forget about the whole legacy aspect. Elodie discovering her family's hidden connection to the history of dragons. That's got to be a game changer for her.
Huge game changer.
It makes you wonder, how do you deal with the revelation that your family's past is intertwined with something as powerful and potentially dangerous as dragons?
Absolutely. It adds a whole new layer of personal significance to her mission. She's not just fighting for the future, she's unraveling the past and trying to understand her place within this larger narrative.
It really makes you ponder those family secrets, right?
Yeah.
The things that are passed down through generations, sometimes intentionally hidden, sometimes just forgotten, and how those secrets can shape the fate of not just individuals, but like entire societies.
And that's what makes the sequel so exciting. It's not just a continuation of the story. It's an expansion of the world, a deepening of the themes, and a chance to explore even more complex characters.
Speaking of complex characters, we can't forget about the newcomers. Kale the Phoenix Guard Rebel is definitely someone I'm eager to learn more about. What makes someone turn against the very organization they've been a part of? What kind of internal turmoil leads to that decision?
Well, he presents a fascinating internal conflict within the antagonist group. His questioning of their methods suggests there might be cracks in their unity, and those cracks could create some unexpected opportunities for Elodie and those fighting alongside her.
Maybe even an unlikely alliance. We've seen that former enemies can become allies in this world, especially when they're facing a common threat. It makes you think about our own world and how often we let old grudges and preconceived notions prevent us from finding common ground.
Exactly. The possibility of redemption is always present, and that's what makes these characters feel so real and relatable. We all make mistakes, we all have the capacity for change, and this story seems to be exploring those nuances in a really compelling way.
And then there's Asha the young dragon with untapped power. I have a feeling she's going to steal the show.
I think so too.
There's something so captivating about watching a young character discover their strength, especially when that strength is connected to something as ancient and awe-inspiring as dragons.
It's always exciting to see a young character with the potential for growth and discovery, especially one with such a powerful connection to the story's central conflict, and the bond that seems to be forming between Asha and Floria. That's a dynamic I can't wait to see play out.
I can already envision those heartwarming moments between Asha and Floria and the incredible feats they might accomplish together. It speaks to the power of unlikely friendships. The idea that even amidst conflict and chaos, connections can be forged in the most unexpected places.
And let's not forget about the epic battles and magical revelations promised in this sequel. The action sequences are sure to be breathtaking, and the unveiling of ancient secrets is bound to keep us on the edge of our seats.
Oh, definitely. This story has all the ingredients for a truly unforgettable adventure, and I'm so eager to see how it all unfolds. But beyond the excitement and thrills, I think what I'm most looking forward to is the emotional resonance. The way this story will make us think and feel and connect with the characters on a deeper level.
I agree. The anticipation is palpable. It's like waiting for a storm to break, knowing it's going to be intense, but also knowing that there will be beauty and growth in the aftermath. And I'm confident this sequel will deliver on its promise of excitement, intrigue, and emotional resonance.
Well said. I think we've covered a lot of ground today, and I'm feeling even more excited about this sequel now.
Me too. It's been a pleasure delving into this world with you and exploring all the possibilities that await us.
Absolutely. And you know what? I think our viewers might have some thoughts and theories of their own after hearing all of this.
I wouldn't be surprised. It's a story that sparks the imagination and invites speculation. I'm sure there are many eager fans out there waiting to share their predictions and connect with others who share their passion for this world.
It's amazing how a good story can just transport us to like totally different worlds, make us feel like we're right there in the action.
Yeah, it really is. And you know what I find even more powerful is how those stories can linger with us even after we've finished reading them or watching them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, they spark those conversations, they make us question our own beliefs, and sometimes they even inspire us to like take action in our own lives.
Exactly.
Okay.
It makes you wonder, what would we do if we were faced with similar challenges? How far would we go to protect the people we love? Would we have the courage to stand up for what we believe in, even when it means going against the grain?
Those are really good questions to think about, and I think that's the beauty of stories like this. They give us a safe space to explore those really complex questions, to grapple with, those ethical dilemmas, and to learn from the characters' triumphs and failures, all without having to face the same risks in our own lives.
It's almost like a dress rehearsal for real life.
Yeah, like a test run.
We can try on different perspectives, walk in someone else's shoes, and come out of it with like a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. And who knows, maybe this will inspire some of our viewers to embark on adventures of their own, whether those adventures are, like literal journeys to far-off lands or maybe more metaphorical journeys of self-discovery.
Absolutely. Stories have this power to awaken the hero inside all of us. They remind us that we're capable of great things, that we have the power to make a difference, and even when faced with those seemingly impossible challenges, there's always hope.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. So thank you again to everyone for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed exploring this world with us as much as we did.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure sharing our thoughts and theories with all of you. And remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation. We can't wait to hear your thoughts and predictions as we all eagerly await the release of this really captivating sequel.
Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the Ultimate Titan channel for more epic content, and leave a comment below telling us what you're most excited about in this upcoming sequel. We love hearing from you.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep imagining, and keep the magic of storytelling alive.
See you in the next deep dive, everyone.